ever pulled up to someone's house? And before you even stepped out of the car, if you already knew something was off, it looked fine. Clean porch, fresh paint. But the number sign was rusted, the light above the door was dead, and the vibe, it whispered, "Don't come too close." Most people think energy only gets blocked in by clutter or mess, but sometimes it's the signs, the quiet and forgotten details that send out messages like, "No luck here," "No welcome here," "No money stays here." These signs aren't loud, but they are constant. They shape what comes in and what never dares to. Today, I'll show you 7 signs your house might be sending without you even knowing, and how they could be quietly pushing away your clarity and your cash, and every piece of good luck meant for you. If you spot even one of these signs in your space, then don't panic and just take note. And if any of them feel a little too familiar, then drop a comment. You won't be the only one. You drive down the street, looking for a friend's house. Everything looks the same, until you pass a mailbox with numbers so faded. You have to squint to read it. The paint is peeling. The sign's hanging by one screw. You almost keep driving. If a stranger can barely recognize where you are, how can opportunity? In Feng Shui, numbers are more than just directions. They're energetic invitations. When your house number is clear, clean, and confident, it tells the world, "I'm ready, I'm grounded, I'm here." But when the numbers are rusted, chipped, or falling apart, they quietly broadcast something else. This home is hard to reach. Things get lost here. Luck skips this address. This is the sign of someone who's been too busy surviving to notice the small things. Someone who used to care, who repainted the porch once, who meant to fix it all one of these weekends. But those weekends kept passing. And now, the house says, maybe next time. So does the money. So does the clarity. So does the breakthrough. Imagine handing someone your phone number with 2 digits scratched out. Imagine giving your email with a typo. That's what a peeling house number is doing to your luck. The message might still exist, but it won't arrive where it's supposed to. Research in environmental psychology shows that even small signs of decay, like chipped paint or broken fixtures, subconsciously tell the brain, this place isn't maintained. And the brain responds by withdrawing trust, interest, even energy. It's not just about how others see your home. It's about what your own nervous system feels. When you come back to a space that doesn't speak clearly, this week, take 5 minutes to look at your house number. Really look at it. Is it bright? Clean? Aligned? Or has it been whispering invisible while you weren't listening? You don't need a new house. You need a number that knows it belongs. A message that says, find me. I'm ready now. And if the number's hanging by one nail and duct tape, hey, you're not alone. But maybe it's time to give your address the confidence you've been craving. You see it on doorways, old barns, cozy porches, a horseshoe nailed above the entrance like a silent prayer. But something's off. It's upside down, and instead of holding the luck in, it looks like it's letting everything pour right out. In Feng Shui, the direction of a symbol matters. A horseshoe facing up is a vessel. It catches blessings. It keeps good fortune near. But flipped upside down, it sends the opposite message. There's no room here. There's nothing to keep. There's nothing to give. The energy that could have stayed just spills away. Not because you didn't ask for it, but because the container said, "I can't hold this." This mistake speaks to the giver, the one who pours and gives and tries so hard to welcome everything in, but never stops to see if they're actually holding on to what arrives. You might be someone who's always asking the universe for more, but never realizes the door you're asking through. Has been telling luck to leave before it ever gets in. It's like placing a bowl upside down and then wondering why it never fills. You didn't stop the flow. You just turned the receiver the wrong way. Symbol placement has deep roots in visual psychology. Our brains read shape and orientation long before we read words. An upside-down vessel signals emptiness, depletion, lack. It triggers discomfort. Even if we can't explain why, it's not superstition. It's subconscious design. If you have a horseshoe at home, check it today. Just turn it up. That's all. And if you don't have one, maybe now's a good time to place something above your entrance that says, "I'm open. I'm ready to hold what's good." It's a tiny flip, but maybe that's all it takes to stop your luck from leaking and start letting it stay a while. You walk up to a house, and before you can even see the doorknob, you see the message: no trespassing, keep out, private property. You weren't going to stay long, but now you're not sure you should have come at all. In Feng Shui, your entry isn't just physical. It's the way energy, people, money, and luck feel invited in. When the first thing someone sees is a warning sign, even if it's meant to protect, it shifts the entire energy at the threshold. From welcome to defense, from flow to tension. These signs may say, "Keep danger out," but they can also say, "Everything stay out," including the very things you've been hoping will arrive. This mistake often belongs to someone who's been through enough to know how to guard themselves. And rightfully so. You learn to protect what's yours, to be clear, to be firm, but sometimes the walls we put up don't just block harm. They block healing. They block the people who would have come with help, or peace, or opportunity. Imagine walking into a store, and the first thing you see on the door says, "We're watching you." No welcome, no warmth. Would you go in excited or cautious, or just turn around? Studies in social psychology show that tone and word choice in signage affect emotional perception. Words like stop, warning, and do not enter can trigger low-level stress responses. Even if the person has no harmful intent, your body hears those words before your brain can rationalize them. Now imagine your front door being that trigger every day. This doesn't mean removing every sign. It just means balancing the message. If you need safety, claim it. But maybe, right below that bold sign, you place a small one that says, "Loved ones, welcome. Peace lives here. This home is safe and open to good things." That way, the house doesn't just say stay out. It says, I know who I'm opening to. If you've ever put up a sign to protect your space, you're not wrong. You just might be stronger now. Strong enough to let a little light in too. You take one step toward the door, and it wobbles. A crack runs through the concrete like a quiet fracture. No one has spoken about for years. It's small, but you feel it, like the ground isn't sure whether it still wants to welcome you. In Feng Shui, the path to your door is more than a way in. It's how energy flows toward your life. It's how wealth finds you, how blessings know where to go. But when that path is cracked, uneven, or broken, it creates a subtle disruption, not just for visitors, but for everything trying to come into your world. Money, clarity, peace. They all prefer roads without potholes. This mistake often belongs to someone who has poured energy into everyone else's entrance, but not their own. You've been showing up for others, but your own path feels ignored. Maybe you keep telling yourself it's just cosmetic. It still works. But some part of you wonders why it's been so hard for life to show up at your door. It's like sending out wedding invitations with the wrong address printed on them. The message is beautiful, but no one shows up, not because they didn't want to, but because the path confused them. Studies in environmental signaling show that broken or neglected entry points create subtle psychological discomfort, both for the homeowner and guests. It sends a subconscious message. This place isn't ready. And even if no one says it out loud, the energy holds it. This week, take a few minutes to walk the path to your door. Feel each step. Notice the cracks, the ones in the ground and the ones you've gotten used to stepping over, even sweeping the walkway, even placing one smooth stone where the crack begins, is a way of saying, I'm ready to be found again. And if you've ever walked up to your own home and thought, this doesn't feel right, comment below and tell me where the crack showed up for you. Was it physical or something deeper? Sometimes healing starts with the simple act of fixing the thing you always step over, not because it's big, but because it's yours. You pull into the driveway after dark. The porch is silent. The light above the door burnt out. You fumble for your keys. Everything feels just a bit colder, a bit lonelier, like the house forgot you were coming. In Feng Shui, light isn't just illumination. It's attention. It's intention. It's how you tell the world, here I am. This is my space. I'm ready. When the light at your entrance is out, the message becomes uncertain. It says, I'm not home. I'm not open. Nothing new should arrive right now. And energy listens, especially the kind that brings money, luck, or love. This is the sign of someone who's been running on autopilot. Someone so used to returning to darkness that they've stopped expecting warmth. Maybe the bulb went out weeks ago. Maybe you meant to change it, but life kept piling up, and the light just stayed off. Until now, you didn't realize how much that silence said. It's like sending out a signal flare and forgetting to light it. Not because you didn't want to be found, but because somewhere along the way, you stopped believing someone was looking. Studies show that lighting affects emotional perception. A well-lit entry fosters a sense of security, openness, and welcome, while dim or absent lighting triggers tension, withdrawal, and even mild sadness. The body doesn't lie. It reacts before the mind can justify. Tonight, check your porch light. Not just if it works, but if it's warm, if it says come in, or turn away. Change the bulb if needed. Wipe the glass. Light it with intention. Make it a quiet beacon for the good things, trying to find you. Sometimes, fixing your energy is as simple as fixing your light, because even the brightest future needs a place that says, you're welcome here. Once, you hung it with pride, a wooden plaque, a name on glass. Maybe it said your business. Maybe it said your role. Maybe it was just a small sticker by the mailbox. Now it's faded, peeling at the corners, and most days, you don't even look at it. In Feng Shui, your name is more than a label. It's a frequency, a declaration, a way to say, I exist. This is what I do. This is where I grow. When your sign is vibrant, it draws energy in opportunities, clients, momentum. But when it's cracked, rusty, or forgotten, it says, this energy isn't active anymore. This door might be closed. Even if your heart's still in the game, your space might be telling a different story. This is for the dreamer turned realist, the one who started something and then got pulled into everything else. You still do the work, but the symbol of it, it's tired, forgotten, maybe even a little ashamed. There's no shame in that, only an invitation to update your presence. It's like showing up to a job interview in your old work uniform from 5 years ago. Even if you still have the skills, the message says, I'm not sure who I am anymore. Environmental cues influence self-perception. When you see your name or purpose presented with clarity and care, your nervous system responds with ownership, with alignment. But when that symbol looks abandoned, the mind slowly detaches from the mission it once carried. This week, take a moment to check your nameplate, your business sign, your front-facing declaration. If it's worn, clean it. If it's broken, fix it. And if it's no longer you, remove it and wait for the next version to arrive. You don't need a flashy sign. You just need one that still speaks the truth of where you're headed. You hang a dream catcher above the toilet. Stick a sticker of dried flowers on your front door. Place a painting of birds flying away, facing the inside of your living room. It looks nice, but something feels wrong. Not obvious, just off. Like your home is speaking two languages and forgetting what it meant to say. In Feng Shui, symbols are more than decoration. They're anchors. Each one sends a message, not just to others, but to your space, your energy, your nervous system. A dream catcher above the bathroom says, "I trap what should be released." A flower in decay by the entry says, "Nothing blooms here anymore." A painting of departure at your workspace says, "I don't belong here for long." You didn't mean to block yourself, but intention without awareness can still close the door. This is the mistake of someone who tried to heal, to decorate, to fill the space with meaning and beauty, but forgot to ask, what am I inviting in with this? It's not about being wrong. It's about waking up to the language your space has been speaking without your permission. It's like writing a love letter and accidentally mailing it to the wrong address. The words were perfect. The intention was strong, but the delivery went somewhere else, and nothing ever came back. Cognitive science tells us that we respond to symbols instantly, not through logic, but through deep, emotional associations. That's why certain shapes, colors, or images, it can uplift or unsettle us without us even knowing why. You don't have to understand a symbol consciously for it to change how you feel. In your own home, take a slow walk through your home. Notice the symbols, the art, the images, the objects placed with care. Ask each one silently, what story are you telling? And if the answer doesn't match your intention, move it, release it. Let it stop whispering the wrong message into your space. Maybe that dream catcher above the toilet was doing its best, but now it's time to let your symbols graduate from cute to clear. Maybe you didn't think a faded sign, a broken light, or a tilted number could block anything important. But energy doesn't wait for big drama. It responds to what you allow, what you ignore, and what you've stopped noticing. These signs may be quiet, but they shape how the world reaches you. And now, you know how to start listening back, Healing your space isn't about chasing perfection. It's about changing the message your home quietly sends, from not ready to welcome in. If this video brought something up for you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what signs spoke the loudest. Tap like, share this with someone who's been feeling stuck, and subscribe if you're walking this path too. Your space speaks, wisdom listens.